So let's just jump right in with the big question, the one that's on everybody's mind right now. Are today's students actually ready for AI in the classroom? You know, artificial intelligence isn't some far-off concept anymore. It's here. But showing up and being ready for what's next, well, those are two totally different things.
And just how here is it? Get this. A global study from 2024 found that a staggering 86% of students are already using AI for their schoolwork. That's not a prediction, folks. That's right now. This isn't some niche little tool for the tech-savvy kids. It's gone completely mainstream. And that makes our big question not just interesting, but really, really urgent.
So to really understand what's going on, we need to get past that big, flashy number. We're going to dive into a pretty fascinating new study that did just that. It peeled back the layers to figure out what students are actually thinking and feeling about this whole AI revolution. Let's see what they uncovered.
Okay, so here's the file on our case study. The researchers zoomed in on 214 high school students in Bucharest, Romania. They were all between 15 and 18 years old, and the mission was simple: figure out what their real attitude towards AI was. This gives us a super detailed snapshot of how the next generation is really connecting with this technology.
Now, the key word in all of this is attitude. It's one thing to know if someone is using something, but their attitude, that's so much deeper. It's what really drives how we deal with new tech. Do we jump in, do we back away, or do we just try to ignore it? So what does attitude even mean in this context?
Well, on the surface, it's pretty simple. An attitude is just a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. But for researchers, of course, it's a little more scientific. They break it down into 3 distinct parts to get the full story.
A great way to think about it is head, heart, and hands. First up, the head part, the cognitive stuff. What do they think about AI? Is it a brilliant helper or something to be suspicious of? Then there's the heart, the affective component. How does AI make them feel? Are we talking excitement, curiosity, or maybe a little bit of anxiety? And finally, the hands, the behavioral side. What do they actually do with it? Are they using it? How? This 3-part approach is how the study got to the truth of the students' real stance on AI.
And this is where it gets really good, because when the researchers crunched the numbers, they didn't just find one single student attitude. Nope. Instead, they found some really clear and kind of surprising divides in the group. Let's follow the clues together.
All right, first clue they looked into. Does gender play a role in how students see AI? What do you think? Does it make a difference?
Well, the data showed a really clear gap. Across all 3 of those components we just talked about, head, heart, and hands, male students, on average, had a more open and positive attitude toward AI than female students did. Now, this could be for a bunch of reasons. Maybe it reflects how society sometimes pushes boys toward tech more, but whatever the cause, it points to a major difference in perception that schools really need to know about.
Okay, on to the next clue. The students in the study were on different academic tracks. Some were all about tech and science, others were focused on humanities. So did their major make a difference? Let's find out.
And the answer is a big, resounding yes. This graph just lays it all out. Students on the tech track, they had the most open attitudes by far. And on the flip side, students studying humanities were the most skeptical and hesitant. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? One group lives in a world of systems and logic, while the other is all about human interpretation and nuance. It's clear that a student's academic world is shaping their view of the AI world.
So we've looked at the different pieces of the puzzle, the divides by gender, the divides by academic focus. Now let's zoom out and put it all together. What was the big takeaway when they looked at all 214 students as one group?
And here it is, the big reveal. Remember that huge 86% usage number from the beginning? Well, despite that, the majority of students do not have a fully open attitude towards AI. Only 42% were considered open. That means a whopping 58%. The majority were cautious, reluctant, or downright skeptical. So yeah, they might be using it, but they're definitely not all sold on it yet.
And this quote from the study's conclusion just ties a bow on everything we've just seen. It confirms the patterns perfectly. The students who were most open to AI tended to be the guys on a tech or science track, while the female students on the humanities track were the most skeptical. So this isn't just a bunch of interesting data, right? It's a call to action. Knowing who is hesitant and maybe why gives educators a place to start. So based on all this, the researchers laid out a roadmap for schools to help bridge these gaps. So here's the game plan. It all starts with just talking about it, having open conversations about the tough stuff, the ethics and the risks. Then it's about shifting the mindset, teaching AI as a co-pilot, a tool to help you, not a machine to replace you. And this is huge. Teachers have to lead the way, showing what responsible AI use actually looks like, and tackling those big student fears, like privacy and plagiarism, head-on.
At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to get more students to use AI. It's to help them level up from just passively using the technology. The real mission is to raise a generation of informed, critical, and responsible users who know how to weave AI into their lives in a thoughtful way.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. We talk all the time about preparing students for an AI future. But maybe, just maybe, based on their real concerns and their caution, we should also be asking a different question. Are we preparing AI for our students? Are we doing enough to make sure it's a tool that truly serves them, that addresses their fears, and empowers every single one of them equally? It's definitely something to think about.